Sometimes I feel like I get less opportunities than boys.
I know, right? I bet you can't even name a female football player.
True. But there's a solution to this. We are making a documentary investigating what is stopping girls from achieving their goals.
We interviewed some people to help us understand and learn about their experiences. Here are some examples.
I think lack of self-esteem, lack of motivation.
Like all girls, teenagers, I remember when I was growing up, always think you're not quite good enough. You always look around and see other people who think that they're better than you, but actually they're going through the same things. We don't realise that. And I think there is a little bit of, certainly there used to be, society judging girls and thinking they're not as good as boys, and I don't think that's true, but I think girls have let themselves fall into the trap of believing that.
Age, race, culture.
Maybe coming from a challenging home life where mothers who, you know, are usually role models to their daughters haven't fulfilled their goals or dreams, and so maybe that then, you know, feeds down to the daughter who maybe feels they don't deserve to achieve their goals.
Sometimes a lack of confidence. I think some girls don't believe in themselves enough, and that can hold them back a little bit. So even though they have these goals, they think they're not good enough.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
I think one thing is peer pressure.
The biggest challenge of being a girl in school is probably being compared to your peers and like other girls like looking at you because you want to be as good as them.
I think the biggest challenge of being a girl in the school is like you want to be popular, you want to be known, you want like everybody to like you, which is impossible.
Peer pressure is a really big factor because everybody just wants to change themselves to fit in, and you should just like be who you are.
It needs to be addressed because this has been mentioned in many interviews. So this is saying that it's affecting people in their everyday lives.
Yeah, there's been a few times, like at home and in school as well. You get like teachers going, oh, we'll encourage our students, but they don't flat out tell you like, oh, you're not going to reach your goals. They'll be sly, they'll be like, are you sure you want to do that? Like for me, I want to go into film, and then picking uni choices, it's always, are you sure you want to do that? What's the employability rate after that? And like, you get it from school and at home.
I was always discouraged at school, always told I was never good at anything.
Yeah, like for me personally, I changed my careers like 10 times because not only because people are telling me, oh no, you can't do this, but also because of my grades and stuff like that.
I was really bad at maths at school. I just struggled with numbers, and I guess it's because I've got more of a creative brain, but I didn't have a very supportive maths teacher. I was in the lower set and never felt that I was really pushed or supported to get the grade I wanted. I actually ended up getting a grade D at GCSE to start with. So yeah, that was a real struggle.
I don't think I have any setbacks in my career for being female, but I think the career, the work field of tap dance is predominantly dominated by males. So I have to work extra hard and make sure that I'm there representing the females in a male-dominated genre of dance.
I have seen girls being discouraged by being compared to other people, not just boys, but to other people, and I think it's wrong. I think that we all have our talents, we all have our successes and our failures, but the only people that really we should be judging is ourselves, and we should be judging ourselves in a way that we are learning from our mistakes and moving forward, and that's not just girls.
When I was at school, there wasn't a girls' football team, even though I love football. But there wasn't a football club in the area. My local football team didn't even have a ladies section, so I couldn't go and train football then. So that discouraged me a little bit. But then a few years later, when I went to university, there was a girls' football team. And so At the age of 18, when a lot of people think that you're too old to learn something new, I went to the girls' football team and I joined, and I had 3 years of having the best time ever with the girls' football team.
I don't think there has been a time where someone has directly tried to stop me from achieving my goals. I just think that there are forces out there that would normally just be a barrier to you achieving your goals. So from what you hear in the media, in the press, women can't do this, can't do that, they can't do this when they have children, they can't do this when they get to a certain age.
I think it's very easy as a girl to fall into the mindset of I can't do, but there's nothing to stop girls doing anything they want to do. They are as good as boys, better at some things, not better at others. It's the difference between boys and girls, and it's the difference between all of us.
I decided that I wanted to study abroad. I wanted to study in America. But again, I knew that we couldn't afford it. So at first it was kind of like, okay, this is something I really want to do, but I can't really see a way around it. And so what I decided to do is I decided not to apply to any university in the UK. I decided not to fill in my UCAS form. And I decided to set about finding a way to fund my education in America. And I spent a year not studying, working full-time, and researching, going to libraries, applying for grants and scholarships and people that would give me money to go and study. And it took a year pretty much, and it was discouraging at first because I had no way of knowing that this was what I was going to be able to do. And I call it at the 11th hour. Literally it was the August or the July before I was due to study in that August. Somebody agreed to sponsor me and I was able to go and study and do my degree in the States.
I trained a lot. I moved to Australia for a little while, and then I got some really great jobs, one of them being the opening ceremony of the Olympics in 2012, another one the closing of the European Games in Azerbaijan, and I created my company in 2014, and that's where I currently am now, working a lot with them.
I decided to retake my GCSE maths years later, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more, I guess being older and slightly wiser. And I had a great tutor who was really supportive and just made it so much easier for me to understand, and I got my C grade in the end.
We have asked older women who have experienced these differences between girls and boys. How do we suggest we change this? How did they react with not doing what they wanted?
I've never had that mindset that being a girl would limit me. I feel like I can achieve anything that anyone, man or woman, can achieve. I was with my sister and we were thinking of what to do over summer. And we both asked ourselves, what do we actually like? And we said clothes. So we decided to start a business where we sold vintage dresses. We then found that there was a demand for more of the vintage dresses. And then we started getting inspired styles made in India and China. And we gained interest from the press and stores. So we had our first stall in Topshop on Oxford Street. We were there for 3 years. And we went on to go onto ASOS.com, shopdirect.com, and about 50 other boutiques around England.
The message is to get across to girls who have goals and ambitions. And no matter who you are, you shouldn't be discouraged, discriminated, or put into stereotypes. What advice would you give to a female who wants to enter a career that is male-dominated?
I would say don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself in any career aspiration that you have. Don't limit yourself in any environment, whether it's male-dominated, whether the people are of a different race, or they're older or younger. I think you have to be confident in your own skills and your own abilities and what you bring to the table, and see yourself as valuable. If you see yourself as valuable and that you have something valuable to give, then you can go into any environment. And I wouldn't be moved by the faces of people either. Even if they're smiling at you or not smiling at you, it's okay.
For me, it's understanding that nothing is an obstacle to me. You could have just someone's demeanor telling you you can't achieve something,
but you just have to be focused, keep your eyes on the prize, and you can achieve anything that you want.
Believe in yourself. Don't compare yourself to others, compare yourself to yourself to see how much you can achieve. Stay true to yourself. I really think staying true to yourself and understanding your journey and what you want to achieve out of life. Yeah, staying true to yourself.
To just enjoy the process, because it is a process. You will make mistakes and you have to learn along the way. I'm a prime example of that because we did not have any sort of business experience, any experience in the fashion industry. So we've actually had to learn the hard way, and we've had to take a lot of everything that we know now from mistakes that we've made. So we've made terrible, terrible mistakes, but we always come out of it. And the great thing about it is that we can't make those mistakes again. So that's the amazing thing about looking back and thinking of what I could change. I would say tell every girl as well as tell every boy to dream as big as you can. Don't let anybody put a cap on your aspirations.
What needs to change to help girls achieve their goals?
Part of the job that I do is going into schools and going into environments where there are trainees and people making decisions about what career path they want to take. And one of the things I've found is that there's just a limited amount of opportunity for people to be exposed to all the different career paths that there are. You know, maybe we know about specific things. We know about being a doctor, we know about being a lawyer, and you know, there's specific career paths, but there is so many things that you can do with the same skills, and knowing that your skills can be transferred into a lot of different environments. So I think having employers come into schools and talk to people, having employers come into schools and speak to girls about the opportunities in science, in technology, in engineering, what you can do with maths, because the female brain brings something different than the male brain brings to any work environment.
I think that the guys are given the opportunities, and I think the girls create opportunities. In the tap dance world, and I'm saying the world because I know most of the most successful tap dancers, that is what's happening. The females are leading at the moment, and we're the ones that are or have got a lot of work, and we employ the guys a lot of the time, which is great.
Our girls' school really pushes the girls, and I think we really celebrate the achievements of girls well. I think we can do more, we can always celebrate more, but I think all the different #GirlsWithGoals events has been brilliant.
Advice I would give to a girl would be to always aim high and try your best and to never give up.
You can achieve your dreams, but you need to put your mind to it.
Don't underestimate yourself because you never know what you can achieve.
My advice that I give to any girl out there is to not play around in class and just get education done.
The advice that I would give is no matter how many struggles and challenges you go through, you can do anything and everything that you want to do.
No matter who you are, what you look like, what you believe in, who you like, do what makes you happy.
My advice to young girls would be don't follow stereotypes, because many women and young girls themselves have overcome stereotypes and been really proud of themselves for it.
Don't hate but appreciate yourself and who you are. Don't let being little, short, big or tall stop you from reaching your goals.
No matter what people say, just be yourself.
My advice is that if someone tries to put you down because you're a female, don't listen to them.
Well, ultimately, to help more girls achieve their goals, they need to be themselves and unique, not to fall into peer pressure, and most importantly, have an ambition. When a young girl can imagine where they would like to be in the future, it is truly inspiring to herself and to her peers.